Okay. I don't remember this. Lots and lots of regen. Lots and lots of regen. This feels like a tiger fight to me. Yeah, like he's immune to Nullify and Fate Seal. He's not immune to Stagger. That's fine, but just he's also not immune to Neutralize. Doesn't do anything to stop it. So like there are other things we could do. We could definitely use Leader. That'd be a great Leader fight, but feels like a tiger fight to me. Hey Dre, how's it going? Okay, so this is the Cosmic Miss one. All right, we know this. So we want lots of unique buffs and or anti-miss. Interesting. That's gonna stretch the roster for sure. Who do we want to start with? He's probably good. Oh my god, I haven't even leveled him. Okay, you know what? Before we get into this, okay, it respects my, yeah, my filtering decisions. Okay, I'm not gonna click this way, but let's start down here, because I'm sure I have some stat focuses to set. Then I'll level them up in a second. You know what, Captain Marvel, I might consider actually going energy resist just to really allow her to ramp while holding on to more. Okay, I think that's all my cosmics. Oh, nope, I was wrong. Okay, now that has to be all of them. All right. I think we're leaving them rank 1, but we might as well do this. Yeah, something like this will definitely stick around, Dre. I mean, we've got... It may not be exactly this every time, but we're going to be doing something. Okay. Hey, Stig. Okay. Yeah, he's a pretty good start. Let's do that. You know what? I probably should have held on to him just for the healing potential, but that's all right. He's only rank 1. I probably don't want to be trying to heal with him later on anyway. was my fault. Hey, evening. Or, hey, Ghost. Okay. Cursor got frozen again. Kind of annoying. Hey, Walrus. Welcome back. Glad you're here. Um... Wait. Yeah. How many total fights are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That ain't right. Right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. 16 more. That's fine. Gotcha, Ghost. I'm honestly probably not going to follow up on that, simply because I have tomorrow off, Canadian holiday, and by the time I get back on Tuesday, I already have several things that I'm going to be chasing down, and I'm just not going to lie. Accurate reporting of summoner engagement is not on my priority list, but go ahead and send in a ticket because that's the kind of thing that they should be good at. Okay, I said 16. We got 21 plus on screen here right now, so I don't need to be too precious. Nice, Cyber, I'm glad. Hey, Omega, how's it going, man? Yeah, I was just telling Dre Walrus that some iteration of this is definitely sticking around. Oh, why did I not pay attention? You know what? I'm just gonna. It's gonna cost me so much in poison damage. I'm not gonna deal with that nonsense. Oh, that's right. When you restart, it holds on to him. That's fine. We'll do Red Goblin here. Hey, Aiden. I'm glad, Omega. I know you're really looking forward to it. Right. I don't have any buffs yet. Got lucky there. Dang it. I can't be playing him right. Because this is miserable. Yeah, and so that's why I would encourage you to stick on it, Ghost, but like it's the I'm sorry, like I know this isn't the best look, but like that's so far out of my expertise. Um yeah. It's so far out of my expertise, like that's not the kind of bug I can fix, and so bugs that I can't fix are just more work, and I'm just probably not going to remember it on top of the 4 or 5 other things that I always have to do coming off of a weekend. Bring it up on like a weekday stream, and you'll have better odds. I'm not telling you to like buzz off or anything. I'm just telling you honestly, probably not going to get to that this time. Let's see. But it's going well, Aiden. Went to the Johnson Space Center today. First time my wife had been. It was fun. Had some good food. Nice long trip. Jerk. My fault for being aggressive, but come on, buddy. Nice, Ghost. Congrats. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure they were. Hey, an Arctic. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done the easy Crucible, and I probably never will. Okay, we got Guardians. Let's just try and make sure we don't get auto-blocked. Yeah, it might be a fun spot for Terrax. Let's do that. Yeah, the comment about there not being a story here has definitely been brought up. Um, some work will have to be done there. Whoa, that's my fault. His stupid. I hate his special ones so much. The hit stuns on it are just silly. Oh, come on. Really? The dodge timing plus specials like Guardians is just very annoying. No! I... Mm. Nice, Ghost. Congrats. Yeah, dodges definitely feel different. That's part of why I'm trying to force myself to play here more. Come on. Oh, Cersei's healing is so underrated. The giant furies, without us having to get them from the special too, are incredibly helpful, but still. Yeah, I never did really take to mouse and keyboard. I The biggest problem with mouse and keyboard is that if I start trying to play on mouse and keyboard, you're going to start hearing that. I guess it only sometimes comes through. The noise filter's doing a pretty good job, but yeah, I don't think we'd all lose our minds. I could use Thanos for somebody. It feels like a waste, though. Oh yeah, let's use Thor for somebody. It should be fun. I wonder if we'll ever get a cosmic robot. It's a bit of a stretch, but should be possible. Bro. Yeah, Warlock definitely could have been Cosmic. The weird thing about something like that, and the reason that I would not be surprised if we never got a Cosmic robot, is that Cosmic is by far the most bloated class from a lore perspective. And so, like, if you can make a Cosmic something else, you probably should, right? It's why Korg and Valkyrie and Thor Rags are all skill, right? It's why Warlock definitely defaults to tech over Cosmic. Because Cosmic is like, it's all of the Kree, it's all of the Inhumans, it's all of the Eternals, it's all of the Shi'ar, it's all of the symbiotes, it's all of the Asgardians, like it's all of the Eldritch beings. I haven't even covered everybody on this screen yet. And there's so many from those categories I just mentioned that we could still ship. We'd probably need it to be somebody who is just like completely obviously a cosmic that's also then a robot. I guess we could have done it with like the Eternals in a certain sense. That's all right. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to who's next. Okay. Yeah, we are not particularly concerned about running out of characters, I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, by the time we actually exhaust the characters that exist, Marvel will have come up with more. Whoops. Well, glad he has healing, if I'm gonna be an absolute bonehead. I don't know what button I was hoping to just press. That was very dumb. Alright. I think I'm gonna throw the special 3 here. Whoops. I'm amazed we didn't have the vigilance up for that. More than 24 new Marvel characters created per year. Yeah, that was kind of my point. Like, if we got through what exists now. Okay, not getting great vigilance luck. That's fine. Chala, do you mind? And he's like, no, I absolutely don't mind. I'm just. Oh my god. Just waiting for you to be at your absolute most vulnerable with your weird dodge hitches because you're playing on a controller. I swear there's a delay. I need to report one of these fights. It does not feel normal. How do I install the game on PC if registered? If you registered, you should have gotten an email that will give you a link to the downloader. If that doesn't work, I think if you go to, what is it, Play Marvel Contest of Champions, Play Contest of Champions? I think it's Play Contest of Champions. Our website, which should pop up if you Google it. I'm sure there's a link to the PC download on the main page or very quickly accessible. Uh, Given what we're trying to do here. Ouch, my bad. Hey, Frequency, how's it going? Interesting, Arctic. I've heard a lot of people not too happy with that. I mean, it's coming to Steam eventually, right? That's why there's a wish list milestone for that. But yeah, care to unpack that comment? Oh, come on. All right, well. Yeah, what's your concern with Steam? I was a little bit worried about that. I probably should have taken, like, Maestro against Ironheart, but that's okay. We still have some healers left. Cosmic has a few of those. And the cursor's dead again. Radiance has finally given me incentive to push Battleground. Still not good at the mode, but I've made it to glad circuits of progress. I hear you on that. I mean, in slightly different places because it's never been all that difficult for me to make it to glad circuit, honestly. But like, I'm not as good at the mode as I used to be, and it is time I got back into it. Gotcha. I don't think the actual game servers would run through Steam at all. It should just be the download, basically. Whoops. Meant to throw the special one. Typical screen problems. We killed too quickly to heal. Glad we got that one off, though. You can dex Yondu's special too. You can. If you had asked me before I went for that, if that was going to be a perfect dex, I would not have put money on it, but yes, you can. Gotcha, an Arctic. Yeah, I can understand that. All right. Patriot here, so let's not do somebody who throws a bunch of non-damaging debuffs up, shall we? Who do I want to use? Given that Maestro is probably a good one. Yeah, let's do that. Don't want to use Null and then get reversaled immediately. Hey, Akbar. I'm doing well. Had a nice Sunday. I do have jury duty tomorrow, which is not ideal. Bro. Eli's like, I'm gonna wait to make sure that your buffs fall off. So you can't get your vigilance. Then I'm gonna throw my special. I was hoping we'd get the vigilance off of that precision. Thank you. That is what I wanted. Come on, buddy. Don't do this. Nice, Double P. How's it going? Or I guess you just answered how it's going, but welcome. Okay, I think it's time to heal. Let's bring in somebody who can. This is going to kill way too quickly to heal properly. Dark Phoenix is... That should work. Just have to be really aggressive. I just use M2s, right? Because I need to get to 10 charges? Yes. No, I was blocking! You jerk! Dang it. I forgot that I needed to go immortal way, way sooner. Okay. Haven't really tried that yet. Sorry, who's next? Nobody with... Well, he's got buffs. We could maybe heal off of Venom. Didn't I already... No, I did not use Superior Iron Man already. Okay. Not a lot of health. We should probably give him something. They're really like no regen for you. We haven't gotten a second regen this whole time. It's giving us everything else. What the heck was that? No. Ah. Hey, BK. The prestige thing, I mean, it's implemented, but it's not live. I understand, but striker nodes on these when you have to run through this many people is not cool. It's like, you know what EQ really needed? Administrative upkeep. No! Ah! These dodges. Get lost. Yeah, like the striker nodes don't bother me at all in normal EQ. Like you're using your top five, but like even though it's technically possible to move people around, it's just such a pain. And I don't like the way that they feel. Ah, that was the wrong choice. That was absolutely the wrong choice. It should have been null, and then I could have used Adam later. But I like the fights aren't fun, right? Because getting the giant burst of power is absolutely awful for anyone's rotation, right? Oh, yay. Okay, I get a bar and a half. Okay, that's not how anyone works. Nobody benefits from that. And so it's like, it's this particular one is maybe the worst of the pro striker nodes we've ever shipped because it's just nothing happens and then something inconvenient happens. Nobody wants to play that way. What? Well, it's been a while since Spider-Ham actually evaded against me. That was a surprise. Striker nodes in general EQ, I don't have any problem with, Walrus. They're part of the game. If you're not equipping strikers to your characters at this point, like, it's time to get over it. But, like, this is different, right? This is not your 5 or 10 most relevant characters. This is 16 or 17. And there are RPG checks on top of it. And so, like, when we ship more relics, absolutely fine, right? Right now, like I said, it just feels like needless administrative work. And if we're going to be using striker nodes, we should be using striker nodes that are interesting and not just you have to have a striker for this not to be miserable, and it's still gonna kind of suck if you have a striker. That's that ain't it, Chief. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Why did he evade there? Same way that Spider Ham as an attacker can. If he blocks for long enough, then he charges a manual evade. And so that's what he did against me. That was a manual guaranteed evade when I tried to hit his block. Um, that doesn't happen often on defense, but it is technically possible. Jerk. Nice, BK. Congrats on that. Afari is awesome. Man, that is trippy as all heck. Excuse me. Oh. 500 shards away from the next 7-star Awakening Gem. Good luck, but you don't want to be asking for Awakening Gem luck from me. I don't have any to spare. Most of mine have been skill, or most of mine have been tech. The first one was fine. I duped Ultron. The other 3, 4. Am I going for itemless? Nah, I already spent a revive. I always have tons of stashed revives. I'm not restarting a path for that. Like, and that's no shade to anyone who does. It's just, it's not worth my time. Because then that's just going to add another hour to some stream in the future. And there's probably other things that I would like to stream. I don't get to play all that much these days. Yeah, Ironheart's fantastic, Walrus. Whoops, that was dumb. Dumped all my revives this week. Fair. Yeah, I'm also, I think I said this in the first stream, but if I was trying to do this itemless, I would not be doing it on PC. Because that has been most of my problems so far. Alright. We know he's going to start unblockable, so let's not be stupid, shall we? And from there, I think we can figure some stuff out. Oh, come on. Okay, I guess we don't need to go for the second special, too. That should have been faster. I should have reacted to the first sidestep, and then that would have been really clean. But, you know, practice is practice. That could have been a 22-second fight. My laptop crashed when I first... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. My tower does pretty well, but I'll run into stuff that it struggles with, and it's just a rotten. Okay, I can get Phoenix today. Might not do it today. Like I said, I got jury duty tomorrow. Whoops. I'm glad y'all didn't see that. because I accidentally minimized. Not that there's anything sensitive on my desktop, it's just a truly staggering number of games. Am I using mousepad? Controller to fight, mousepad to navigate. Well, not mousepad, mouse. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay attention. I'm probably gonna die to her. It's been a while. Okay. All right, we're bringing prowess. Well, we might bring prowess. Because there's nobody with both prowess and daunted, and I probably want to bring daunted instead. But we'll see. Somebody like North Star would be fun too. Yeah, North Star is good for that second one as well. Every time I read Combo Conundrum, I hear Karma Conundrum. Or Karma Chameleon in my head, for those of you who know. Oof, Compelled Duel is brutal. I forgot about that. Okay. That's gonna stink. Who we using? Okay, Avengers. Oh god, I can't just use Hawkeye for the entire one. It's so silly that they use the crossfight one here. Like, you get a lot of fury in the fight, so it's not that it doesn't work, but it's weird. Because obviously you're removing the crossfights. Okay, I'm hoping the pool is filtered to Avengers and Tech. No, it's just Tech. Okay, so we can't do the Avengers thing. Okay, so we're just looking... Wait, what? You're forcing me to use all Tech champions, and then the ask is land crits? That's fine. It's not like it's a class that famously is bad at landing critical hits. That's very annoying. I know you can use Power Drain too, but like... it's very annoying. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the issue is never the first fight, BK. Stark's Buddy has 7 different rarities. Cute. Hey, Retton. Welcome. Yeah, like, it's obviously doable. I wish that if they were gonna do this, that they would also let you use the Avengers, right? Welcome to the channel, Z. Because I truly do not mind restrictions, but when the restrictions are this weird and the node was originally designed to also have another like 20 champions in it. I didn't do the stat focus for the tech thing. Well, y'all are just gonna have to deal with that, I guess. Um, yeah, it's just feels like a miss. If it had been Avengers 2, then it. Bro. All right, I'm glad we dodged the aftershock. Yeah, arcade's fun. Oh, I'm sorry. You asked. I have a 6-year-old laptop that has an NVIDIA card. Do you think the game will run on it? I honestly don't know. I do know that we have minimum system requirements. I know they're posted on Steam. They're probably on the website with the other launcher too. I don't think they're particularly high, so there's a decent chance that you'll get away with it. Yeah, like Jack just can't access the charges, huh? And does it have to be drain or can it be burn? I forget. No, it's drain, burn, or lock. Okay. So Jack doesn't work. Penny does. But we can use Deathless Vision. Um, there are a lot of things I like about the new map. I do think it's undertuned for tier 1. There are a couple things there that I think I'm just not going to discuss. Is he really not crit? Oh, man. All right, he heard me. He crit. Yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of it, Akbar. You're in the territory where we allowed you to do the whole map by yourself. Have fun. Oh no, not consistent combos. No, it's not consistent combos. What is it? No, it is consistent combos. Then how did I land a hit? Whatever, this stupid node. Alright. Hey, Easy, how's it going, man? I get where you're coming from, Easy, but that's like, that's pretty close to regular war, right? And what we're trying to do here is experiment with a change-up. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think the issue with... Oh, let's keep in mind Sentinel is a health reset. I don't think the issue with traditional war... what am I trying to say? I don't think the issue with traditional war was that it was 5 fights on average per person instead of 3. I don't think that's what was keeping the majority of people engaging with it. Yeah, well, and bluntly easy, you do more than you should for that kind of stuff. Um, 1 second, sorry. All right, let's just wait this out. Oh, why did I do that? He's all right. This is what happens when I don't really scout. But yeah, the average load on the old map is 5, not 10. The fact that you do the literal maximum every time isn't really what we're balancing around. Do I think I'll be playing on PC permanently? Absolutely not. No. I still prefer mobile in a lot of ways. I was gonna say, I thought I had an I do. I guess I do, and it's just not leveled yet. Probably should have done that prep before I came in here. Nice, Blizzard. I'm glad that's there. Like, the delay is so short. Stupid. Oh, the aura is a passive, so it's gonna fail here. Stupid, stupid node. At least he's incinerate immune. Nice, Colin. Congrats on that. I hope you enjoy him. I tried the 9.3 beta? Nah, I've been way too busy lately. I'd love the rewards, but I wouldn't even count it as free stuff, given the time it would take me. And I've already playtested half of it myself anyway. Hey, Snoops, how's it going? Nice, Akbar. That is good to hear. Do I have anyone with net positive regen? Ultron, maybe. Nah, go away. Actually, his regen's probably better than it ever has been in this style of quest. Okay, I do need to pay attention to Void, but that's about it. You can probably just use Death Strike for Void. That'll work. Alright, let's go ahead and throw Iron Man in here. Invincible to follow Infamous. Good evening, John. It's nice to see you, but I'm sorry if my tone was off because I had already read Snoop's message to follow, and Jesus, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Am I planning on making more videos for this season? I'll probably do like one a week. I'm not sure it makes sense. Whoops. I'm not sure it makes sense for me to do it any more often than that. I guess at least consistent combos is healing, but small comfort that is. My God. Can't even properly punish because of his weird mediums. Yeah, pest problems are just the worst, Snoops. I forget if I told y'all about it when I was living in Pittsburgh, but like in that apartment we had moths, we had mice, we had we didn't actually have bed bugs, thank God, but I still had to like re-dry clean everything I owned after some neighbors found some in theirs. It was water damage where part of the ceiling fell. That apartment had a good location, but it was an old building and did it have problems. Let's do iron. Yeah. Yeah, let's do iron. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, Akbar. I mean, the primary issue is that you and I are in a battle group with 5, 6 content creators. Maybe it's less than that, but it feels like that sometimes. Hey, Wolf. Welcome. Rank 4 Quicksilver, Spider-Man 2099 can take either to Sig 200. That's tough. They're both very good. They're both a little bit slow in Battlegrounds. They're both incredible in War, but a little off the beaten path. Spider-Man 2099 benefits a lot more from Sig 200, in my opinion. Like, a lot more. But at the same time, Quicksilver has really good prestige, if that matters to you, and that wouldn't be a bad reason to take him to Sig 200. Um, yeah, it's a tough one. I personally enjoy Quicksilver a bit more, but like a rank 4 Sig 200 Spider-Man 2099 is also a really cool weapon. I think I'm gonna have to vault that one back to you and say go with who you like more. I don't think there's a wrong choice there for you. Yeah, no kidding, Snoops. That's just awful. I hope that is resolved quickly. Just pulled Angela from my third ever incursions crystal. She's only good high sig, right? I wouldn't say that. There's a number of different things you can use her for. She's definitely a lot better high sig, but even without that, she has good damage on basics, can have a bunch of unique buffs, synergizes really well with Odin, um, and she can parry non-contact hits, which is nice already. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely a lot better when she crushes Hazard Shift, but I wouldn't say that's the only thing. Oh, this was a terrible pairing. It's Night Thrasher. Why do I? Ugh. Whatever. This is what I get for half paying attention for a lot of this. And that's fine. I'm amazed he hasn't purified these yet. I feel like I'm jinxing it, but I paused for a split second and got consistent comboed. Okay, seriously, how has he not purified these yet? What am I missing? Nope, there they are. That was funny. Nice, take care, BK. Thanks for stopping by. Like most of 9.3, except for the Silver Sable boss, fight has way too many distance-related things to keep track of. Gotcha. I don't remember that one. I'm not sure I tested it, but that sounds like a pretty fair complaint. It's funny seeing Penny next to the Sentinel robot when she also has her own robot. Oh, the power drain messed up her own kit. That's my fault. That's fine. I always over ramp or under ramp with Penny. That's the one thing that bothers me about her kit. It's a really cool attacker kit, but it's just like it doesn't kill, and you're begging the incinerates to kill them, or it just deletes them like that in the first 3 hits, and you go, "Wow, that could have been so much." It is what it is. Okay. Ramps off prowess. I know Shocker doesn't have any ability to gain these Furies, but he gains so much attack in his own kit that I don't think it matters, and he's going to ramp off Jubilee enough that this should be plenty. A lot like Guardian. She is indeed. And a bunch of other Coop champions. That is kind of the one critical weakness of the build to special build to special 2 payout style. Deck champs are your favorite in general? That's cool. I'm really looking forward to eventually being able to build one. No idea when that'll happen. Void. Void, 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 void. I said Death Strike. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's do it. I think that's an acceptable joke to laugh at. Someday. I actually did have the opportunity pretty recently for one that I would have liked, but somebody else just took precedence. Yeah, referring to Tex. I'll let y'all know when it happens, and I'll confirm which one I passed up on, but I have no regrets. I mean, on some level, you can just know that pretty much every tech that comes out in between now and my first one, I'll have at least thought about trying to claim dibs on. Every time. Every time I pick a robot against Nebula. It's fine. At least this one is ability accuracy resistant. Yep, there she goes. I'll take it. That was pretty close to perfect. Would I rank 4 Awakened Nick or future Ant-Man? Just can't decide and have T4 Alpha expiring. Personally, I'd probably take up future Ant-Man. Both of them are ideally going to want some SIGs. Neither of them has super high prestige, if that matters to you. Both of them are serviceable at low prestige. Speaking of which, let's pick somebody with a miss counter. But yeah, personally, I think I'd pick future Ant-Man. Who do I have that counters miss? You don't count, you're just falter immune. Omega Sentinel, there we go. Somehow I didn't know that she had abilities targeting robots. I never think about it until I'm locked into the fight, and then it immediately pops into my head. Every single time. It's so annoying. Scroll buff win. What's the segue there? Oh, Coop Champs? Maybe that's it. Hey! I blocked Miles. Uncool. My new goal is to find another point for collar tech. That mastery's so good. It is indeed. 2 points will allow your tech champ to get a bar power almost the same time as the defender. Yeah. No, it's very good. Alright. Sam and auto block. It's going to be a tough one to get through. None of you really do anything to deal with that. Yeah, that's just going to suck, isn't it? I guess Prowler can go unblockable if we build up enough. So maybe that's the route. The alternative would be Iron Man with plasmas off the special 3, which probably work quite well. Yeah, I'm gonna go Prowler. Yeah, but a lot of tech special 3s want you to follow it up with a special 2. I guess I could have used Mysterio. That's fine. I don't believe 5 out of 5 collar tech was ever broken, Akbar. I know what you're talking about. Or at least I think I do. I'm pretty sure. That was just a missing icon. Nope, I did the thing. Bro. I even thought about that earlier in the fight. I was like, don't try and use the falter once he goes into locked on. Just don't do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what Sim ran into was just visual. No! You abs... Oh, that's so frustrating. And my striker has now failed twice now. I probably need to not... Just not use this controller for MCOC at some point. It's very frustrating that that button doesn't work. But you get what you pay for. This was free. No! I am having... I haven't had these issues with mobile in a long time of just like inputs not registering after the special 3. Whoop. Nope. Oh, sorry. Hitting the wrong button. So I don't think either of those things should be happening. This wouldn't be a problem if we could have used Avengers. Anyway. Almost got hit by the frickin' special one again. Jerk. Hey, Snopes. Unnessa. Funnily enough, Sauron's probably really good for Yeah, why not? I certainly had my issues with it, but I think it was a bit. Whoops, that was my fault. Ma'am. What? What? Y'all saw that lag spike, right? That was my fault. That's fine. Yup, you should be careful using ability accuracy there, JJ. Alright, well, solo's a solo. That was ugly as all sin, but I picked Sauron for a reason. Prowess, prowess, no, seriously, prowess, a lot of prowess. Okay, bullet time's probably going to be difficult on PC, even though I normally like the node a decent amount. I don't really have any good tech evade counters, unfortunately. Like, my Prowler's only a 6-star. I don't have Bastion. It's kind of obnoxious. Okay. So this is going to be is science, because we're not going to have the cross fights. It's kind of funny that this node is even loaded then, because what is this doing if you can't bring the tactical edge people because you can only bring science due to the filter? Like, why? What a waste of data. Whatever. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit salty after that lag spike. I'm gonna have to track that down. Hold on. Sending a note to myself. That was awful. I use Cyclops for Cyclops. That's funny. I don't really count Iron Man Infinity War. I know what you're saying, easy, but like he can't really use his kit into somebody who evades every single hit. Okay, so we just need to use science characters that can throw a lot of heavies. Okay. Kind of a weird one. Warlock is going to be moderately annoying given his unique buff punishment. I guess we save Overseer for him. Ant-Man's going to be slow but doable. Keep an eye out for Dormammu. Let's save a buff immune. Yeah, we should be fine. Yeah, I don't really like the science node either. It's fine when you can just get used to it with a single character, and then I just like spam Venom and Mysterio for the whole dang path, but I don't think it's particularly fun here. Maybe I should have kept She-Hulk for Wong, but this is fine. Oh, I think that's who I used. Well, cool. Maybe I'm underestimating how well his kit plays into evade. Or maybe you just baited more heavies. That's fine too. Ma'am, the way they have been baiting me today. Yeah, Joe's a good shout. I've heard all of that, JJ. And I like, yeah, I don't know. There's no way to soften that, I guess. Like, I'm kind of in a place where I don't really have a lot of interest in hearing the same complaints because I promise you, I brought all of them up before this shipped, and it wasn't just me, right? Like, we are aware of the downsides. There's some other stuff there that I can't really get into, which is I think the map shipped easier than it was intended to. We'll leave that. But like I've said this a couple times, this change is not for the people at the top, right? The people at the top in tier 1, and that's what you're talking about, we're already engaging with war. But like what we're telling you here, and what I think a lot of people know, is that the majority of players hate war as it currently works. Like when BK was here earlier, he said that they can't get their alliance to place over 126 diversity. That is literally the most basic task in war. And I'm not shaming anyone for that, but like step one is make sure you have 150 diversity. And that is a significant challenge that a lot of alliances just can't meet. And then from there, you have to deal with a lot of other stuff. Like, the current model is not working for the vast majority of people. That means we have to experiment with it. And you can definitely say, well, then I just wish you would have left tier 1 out of the experiment. That's fine. But, like, it's kind of worth getting that data too, right? And so if you're concerned about that, my suggestion is take it as a bit of a break. Don't stress too much about it. But, like, we gotta try something. So let us. Some variant on this EQ will be permanent stars, yes. It may not look exactly like this every time. How is that on the flip side easy? That sounds like the same side. Yeah, like I'm in, it's not the top 1%. I think that is one of the most important things to hear. Sorry, I'm trying not to die to unblockable specials here. Yep, that was gonna happen. If the timer on that stupid unblockable was paused during specials, then this node would bother me a lot less. Sorry, what I was starting to say, JJ, is that tier 1 is not the top 1% of the game. Tier 1 is the top 0.15% of a life. And Masters is even smaller than that, right? Masters is 20 alliances. Tier 1 is like roughly 60 or so. The alliances that place in Masters, which includes my own, given that rough math, are the top 0.05% of players. That is 1/20th of 1%. That is an incredibly small number. And it doesn't mean that those players don't matter. They do. But, like, do those players matter so much that they outweigh a group of people? What is that, 20,000 times their size? 2,000 times their size? I think, yeah, 2,000 times their size. Right, and Akbar is getting to the other part of it, which is that we also shouldn't assume that everyone in Masters prefers the traditional model. A lot of us do, especially those of us that are loud. We have definitely been heard, but I don't think it's true for everyone. There's going to be a lot of learnings and iteration on this format, and I personally don't think it should ever replace the traditional one, not fully. But I do think it's worth spending some time on the numbers there to just realize how lopsided things are. Will MCOC ever come to Mac, or is it too many hoops to jump through? It's not necessarily that it's too many hoops to jump through, it's that it's such a small return that the hoops aren't really worth jumping through, if that makes sense. Because very, very few players are on Mac, and even out of those that are, some of them, what's the word, also have PCs. And so the number of players that it allows us to access is pretty small. Nice. Red Guardian's been fun. Yeah, we'll see how the experiment goes, JJ. Next one is Wong, so yeah, that seems like a good time for Silk. Or one Quicksilver. One Quicksilver is good. We still have two Quicksilver. What's the most popular mode of MCOC? AQ and EQ. I know that's really not what people want to hear, but by raw numbers, it's AQ and EQ. Stupid physical resistance. I'm sorry, I was not. I missed one of Snars's questions. Um, PC is not the experience of playing. I don't like it quite as much as mobile. The inputs are not just quite as consistent for me. Part of that is learning. Part of it is I do think the buttons have a slight hang. The muscle memory is just different. You're using literally more fingers to do the same number of things. The mapping is a little like that allows more precision, but it's more bandwidth. It's not my favorite, but it is smooth. It plays well. It looks good. No getting around that. And I do like it is easier to stream. I have better posture. My neck hurts less when I'm done. I can actually sit in my chair. It's probably good for my health. So I will be definitely streaming quite a bit on it, but it doesn't mean that I'm fully switching over to PC or anything. I did not look at who was next. Okay, Chavez. This sounds like a fun Nefaria fight. Let's do that. He's also a good healer. But I don't want to hold on to him forever. Leader shuts her down too much. Yeah, let's play with Scorpion. It's been a while. Keep in mind, Powell, that like the exact complaints a lot of endgame players have for AQ make it accessible, right? It's the same fights every day at the exact same time. You can build your roster around them. You only need, one, maybe two or three attackers to fully solve it forever. There are modifiers, but they're simple. For a lot of people lower down, there aren't even modifiers. And then at the end of it, you get decent rewards. You get catalysts to level up your characters. You get glory, so you can choose your own adventure. Pretty soon, a lot of that's going to give you radiance too. Like, it's boring, but boring is predictable. Boring is accessible. And it's not like there's nothing to pay attention to. This always happens. Dang it. Ma'am. I'm so out of practice with Scorpion. Yeah, like these kinds of conversations are really good. And I don't just mean that because like y'all are seeing players not like you, but just to kind of like get across the challenge that is game design for a game this large. Because players are so different, right? There's so many different slices of players who engage in completely different ways. And we have to at least start to think about almost all of them, right? Like it's very, very difficult to dismiss any cohort entirely. And on top of that, the largest cohorts of players are the ones that are least likely to go to the forums or Discord or to my little channel to chat with me on YouTube. And I very much appreciate y'all. Um, I love the audience that I've curated here. It's just by definition a tiny snapshot. And so, how do we get the data from those other players? How do we design for them? That is a very difficult problem. And we're doing what we can, and trying to thread the needle and make things work for other people. But like, just to give one example, um, you guys know how the first 15 fights in Arena have like the world's worst AI, according to a lot of us, right? Um, I'll get to you in a second, JJ. But like, yeah, that Arena AI is terrible, right? It's early game AI. We would love to change that. I hate it. You hate it. A lot of our late game players hate it. We actually split tested changing it. We were like, all right, let's give this a go. Let's try it out. I want to make sure I'm not about to fight Warlock. Okay, cool. Let's try it out and let's see how players feel if we just completely remove this. Turns out players hated it. They really, really hated it. And not all of them, but there was a pretty large chunk of players out there who apparently just play Arena while watching TV. And before you say, well, that's what I do and I want the different AI, play Arena while watching TV and aren't as skilled as you. And so when they tried the more aggressive AI, they got bodied. And they're like, you are ruining this game mode that I engage with. Because I was able to play this game casually, and then I could take these resources into other game modes and pay more attention there, and you're getting in the way of that. And so we decided to leave it. Now, that's not necessarily the final word on that. Speaking as somebody who spends quite a bit of time with our AI team, but that's all I can say there at the moment. The test was before my time, to be clear, so that means at least 3 years ago at this point. It, you're allowed to laugh. It takes all types. Hey, that rubber band sound is so silly. I really need to start looking at the next character and then actually remembering who they are. Okay. Yeah, let's do Spider-Punk. That seems fun. Oh yeah, that's a. I'm sorry, I forgot to come back to JJ's point, but that's a really good segue, Snoops. Oh, that sucks. I gotta admit, Spider-Punk is so much easier to play on PC. That's not even close. Uh, but yeah, that's a really interesting point, Snoops. I imagine if Reed had Shield's heavy reach, um, I'd be a lot more scared about releasing him as a 7-star if he did. That's for dang sure. I get bodied in arena when I bring my 6-star rank 100. Yeah, that's a different conversation. I don't curse on my stream as a rule, Bob, so I'm gonna have to euphemize it, but nice turd post there. That's quality content. But yeah, to go back to JJ's point about that top 0.15% is probably a decent percentage of the revenue Kabam receives, you'd probably be shocked. It absolutely includes some of our largest single spenders. But as far as our overall revenue, I think people dramatically overrate how much spending happens in that top 0.15%. And if you think about it, there are multiple alliances at the top who are very loud about the fact that they spend little to nothing, right? And they're just there because of skill. They're getting averaged with the whales up there. And like we care about all of those players, to be clear, quite a bit. Um, like the big whales in tier one, the high skill, highly engaged, low spenders in tier one. We don't want any of them to leave, and we do want all of them to be happy. But think about when you're playing through Battlegrounds and you run into a massive whale with an alliance tag you've never heard of and never will hear of ever again. And then you crush them because they don't understand the matchups on the same level you do, right? Those players are clearly like playing the game enough to get into Gladiator Circuit or whatever. They understand the game well enough to win that much. They have spent enough to develop those rosters, and they are not in that 0.15%. And probably never will be. They're not even in the Battlegrounds equivalent of that 0.15%. Maybe they top out at Arcane or something. And there are a lot of those people. More than I realized before Battlegrounds came out. Yeah, no, I totally understand you, Stoops. I know that's not a diss at all. If I ever convinced my wife to play, she'd probably be closer to that than me. Rude. Peter. Pumpkin eater. Of course he doesn't crit. Yeah, I knew it. Jerk. One of the modes he plays consistently is Arena, but I have to say, watching him play Silk and not chain into a heavy with his combo kills me every time. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Like it's been so interesting seeing my wife play AFK Journey more because it's like she's incredibly intelligent, right? Um, she has as many degrees as I do, and in harder subjects. But also, when she plays games, she doesn't really like to get that into them, and she likes to turn her brain off. And AFK Journey is obviously an idle game, but there is depth of strategy to it. There are RPG conversion, or there are RPG mechanics and such. And the amount of time we went both playing that game before she even knew where to look to find what, like, the execution stat meant. Like, it was months. And again, that's not that she's playing the game wrong. That's just she was engaging with it differently. It's, yeah. Maybe it's time for Joe fix it. Yeah. If this wasn't Claire, I would have brought in Joe. Maybe Joe still would have been even better there, but that's fine. Ma'am. There we go. That's not bad. Ah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I understand where you're coming from, JJ. Easy says, I think Kabam cares more about getting 50,000 people spending on a $5 deal than a few whales spending a couple thousands. There's an element of that. You want both, right? Like a healthy gaming company does have both whales and a lot of little spenders. Game design is hard. I understand that, Akbar. Have you ever played Grim Dawn by out of curiosity? Sounds like it might be up your alley. Cannot believe how perfectly he timed that. Ugh. Nice, Bob. Glad to hear that. Yeah, and that's a very valid reaction. Whoops. That's a very valid reaction from you, Snoops. Oh, the game actually crashed. Okay, well, that's fun. Because on a certain level, it's not even about skill as far as like some kind of talent. It's how skilled are you now? How much time would you have to put in to get the skill? Or yeah, how skilled are you now? How skilled do you need to be? How much time would you need to put in to make up that difference? And then how much time do you need to put in to sustain it and to keep playing at that level, right? It's significant. Grim Dawn, Akbar. It's an ARPG, kind of like Diablo. I think it might even be from some of the same devs as Path of Exile, if you've played that. But it's in like a semi-grimdark future. It's fun. I like the story and all of that. The mechanics are really interesting, but also really complex. Like as you're planning out your character, you basically need um, to have grim tools open, which is kind of like their version of an Aunt May or Kanchuzank. But based on what you just said, you might enjoy it if you have any interest in ARPGs. At low sig, I mean, easy's not wrong, but you want Tiger at high sig. Row your this guy. Just like this, I've always hated Warlock's animations and how that dash plays out, but like I'm getting just tired enough. There was a little bit of a lag spike. It's yeah, it's throwing me. I think you know what it is. I think I'm also too close to my screen. Yeah, I'm backing the chair up right now. I have a pretty good sized monitor, and I was starting to get close. All right, that's fine. Well, Kabam can. Um, yeah, God, is that a question? But for Kabam to do it, that means wanting to do it right because then it's an official product, right? And then that means you have to put together a team to decide how to do it. And you need to bring in the back end and you need to, talk to the website and you need to decide things such as like, should you be able to directly access your account? And what features are really important? Are they the ones that are already on Aunt May or are they, new ones? How many of those can we afford to not build? What things do we need? Are there any things we need that are not currently being done by those websites? How long will it take to do this? How expensive is it going to be to do this? What are we going to not do because we're doing this? Like, all of that, and then will it at the end of the day make us money? How do you quantify the effect that Aunt May or Conchuzonk have on player retention? Etc., etc., etc. Like Akbar said, it's just the minute we do it, it stops being a hobbyist building something by themselves and it starts being a corporate project. And that means that the final product might be better in some ways. There would certainly be more power and integration behind it. But it also means that inevitably there's going to be more than one cook in the kitchen. And once you even add a second, you start running into complications. All right, let's bring in Joe. I think the PC version would be less laggy. In some ways it is, but it's, pretty darn high res. We're making some significant asks. Midnight Suns is a good example where I didn't have to get into the nitty gritty of abilities and min maxing, just got lost in the fun of the gameplay and strategy. Yeah, that's very fair. My first playthrough for Midnight Suns, I don't think I ever went above like the first difficulty past normal because I was just enjoying myself. And that's plenty valid. On my fifth path of Epic of Pain, not having a great time. Whoever decided to put the barrels note on Cassie, I hope they have a slight but annoying inconvenience in their day tomorrow. Hopefully not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a holiday, but I guarantee you on Tuesday they will have a slight but annoying inconvenience in their day because that's just how our job works. Okay. What graphics card do I have? I would have to look it up. I honestly don't even remember. It's a solid one. Excuse me. I don't know why I say excuse me when my back pops. It doesn't really make sense, and I'm pretty sure y'all can't hear it, but never played an ARPG, so maybe I'll give it a shot. I think they're cool, and it's not normally my thing, but yeah. Give Grim Dawn a go. You might like it. Gotta love the pig. Whatever graphics card I do have, it's at least 3 years old and probably four, maybe 4.5 or so at this point. Because I got this computer before I moved for this job, and I will be I'll be at 3 years at Kabam on the 4th of July. So this computer is significantly older than that. Given all that, it's done pretty well for me. Okay. Next one is going to be annoying on block damage. So yeah, we can try Photon. I might update it at some point, but I think at this point, like, it's... Whoops. That's weird. Could have sworn I blocked. Oh, what I was starting to say was at this point, if I'm making any significant upgrades to this PC, I'm gonna have to replace the motherboard to get a better graphics card, and so like I'm at that point the only thing I'm holding on to really is the hard drives, which are good, and I guess probably some of the RAM, but I would upgrade some of it as well. Eh, we'll see. I know I must swap in a new champion. Okay, let's use leader for Super Scroll. That feels pretty good. Dang it. Okay, good. I had just enough time. Jerk. I got you, EK. You're probably decently close to me. Let me check for you. I look seldom enough that I'm not even 100% sure where to look. I know it's somewhere in settings. No, that's the processor. I do have 48 gigs of RAM. I can tell you that. Ah, there it is. I've got a Radeon RX 5500 XT with 8 gigs. So it's like, it's decent. It's not special. My wife's degrees are in. She has a law degree and a master's in information security, is kind of the quick version. Yeah. Oops. Hey, Zeno, how's it going? This frickin' guy. Yeah, I hear that, Akbar. I enjoyed my masters. Yeah, that was my fault. Rude. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting another master's at some point now that I have a new career path. But I'm not planning on leaving a secure job anytime soon. Okay, so it's Cyclops with bullet time and a lot of prowess. Future Ant-Man sounds solid. Makes sense, EK. That hitch after his first medium is so annoying. Yeah, that was my fault. Okay, Cyclops with bullet time is actually really annoying. Oh, and I'm not getting the stun because it's glancing. Amazing. That's okay. This is why I brought Future Ant-Man. Yeah, I hear that, Snoops. For sure. Like if I needed to get a master's um some kind of computer engineering or something because I was getting closed out of technical roles, like that would be a very good reason for me to go do it. But right now design's going pretty well. Hey Hush, how's it going? Okay, we should be able to open some stuff. I'll get Phoenix later. More SIGs, not Patriot. I know that's how statistics works, because I'm no more likely to get Patriot than anyone else just because I don't have him. But it'd be nice. Catching up on some anime. Nice. I haven't caught up on anime in a very long time. I barely catch up on any kind of TV, which annoys my wife. Someday. Have him duped? I wish I did. Easy rank 3. I won't say he's the only champion of mine available at 7-star that I don't have, because Gene also exists, but Gene has not entered the Titan yet, and Patriot went through a full run of the Titan, during which I opened God knows how many for him, and got everyone else, and not him. Where should I be using him? Anywhere that dumps debuffs on you. Photon in general. He's really solid for Path 4. He's just great against unblockable, right? Great against unblockable and against science champions that are trying to punch through your block. So Photon being one, but like Joe Fixit is another really great target. He's good against Quicksilver, but you have to learn that matchup a little bit. Technically, he's good against Anti-Venom, but I'm not going to pretend Anti-Venom's a relevant defender. Plus, he just hits decently hard if you know what you're doing. I hate those pop-ups so much. Interesting. I haven't heard of that one, Haj. Nope, go away. Okay. Is there anyone that I want to go rank? Just going through this, like, what I opened today flow, I truly do not understand people who wanted all of the greater or superior banquet crystals, whatever they were called, to be selectors on like almost all the drops. I would have lost my mind, and I didn't open nearly as many as some people did. Anyway, 7-star, rank 2. What do I want to do? Nefaria's a good one. Maybe I should take up somebody who'll help me in the current Glad Circuit meta, because God knows am I missing people. Never did rank 3 Maestro. That's a solid one. I really liked using Emma. Maybe it's time to finally rank 3 Guardian. That feels like a pretty obvious one. I can understand that, Akbar. Yeah, I think Guardian or Venom are the two that I've just been putting off for too long. I'll go Guardian now. We'll tap Venom soon. Yeah, I know this is the worst kind of complaining, Snoops, but it would be easier if I had fewer options. It just means I'm not quite sure what to do. No, but this is a good choice. I don't see myself regretting him. Sig's pretty low, so yeah, there he is at the bottom. Let's go ahead and move that relic over. That'll help. Yeah, he popped up a bit. Where is he at? 40? 20. Still at 20. Okay. That's still something. Not a lot. That's fine. And Battlegrounds were using him as a nuke anyway. Exactly, Snoops. Guardian will be my next rank 3, especially with Zola in the game. Yeah, that's a fair one. And I do need to take Venom up. It's time. Okay, I think I'm going to call it there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. This is a good stream. Okay, so I think that was about 5 hours total for all 6 quests across these 2 streams. And obviously we stopped and talked a bit. I probably could have done it in 4 if I didn't like y'all. Maybe less, but that's not too bad. I can definitely do that every month, and I think probably keep enjoying it. Beats the heck out of normal EQ. But yeah, thanks all. Take care.